Sorry about that. I got it on now, haven't I? Can you hear me? Okay. I say I invite each and every one of you to the town meeting. Glad to have you. And at this time, if you will, if you're able to, please stand.
Let's bow our heads. Father, we're truly thankful to be able to celebrate our independence this past week. Father, thank you for being able to gather as a group. The country's been through a lot. Our town has been through a lot, so has our citizens. Father, we know that we have a lot of still sickness in our community. We still have a lot of sickness around the country. Father, we know through you all things are possible. We ask you to continue to be with our troops, bring them home safely, be with their families here at home, mend those that need mending, heal those that need healing, Father, and be with this council as we move forward tonight in making our decisions. We ask this thing in your most precious name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, and at this time, we'll ask Councilman Don Helms if he'll lead us in a pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May be seated. Okay, is Tommy Batson here? Or am I? Wrong one, huh?
Wrong one.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're going up a little bit. All right. Sergeant Bailey, are you here? Yes, sir. Okay. And Fielding?
And Beth.
And who?
Beth.
Beth, yeah. Okay.
We're thankful to have Officer Feeling and Sergeant Bailey with us this evening as they've both passed their law certification courses to earn advanced training for our Surf City Police Department. And we just wanted to bring them up and tell them how thankful we are to have them as part of our team and that they could be with us this evening.
Okay. Already took your speech, huh?
And took your... The advanced law enforcement certification is the highest certification law enforcement officers can achieve. It's accumulation of education, training, and years of experience. The criminal justice education training standards this year's met legislation. Among other transactions, the Commission accepted nominations of those candidates qualified to receive the Law Enforcement Officer and the Criminal Justice Officer's Advanced Certificate. After examination of the credentials, the Commission unanimously approved issuance of the Advanced Certificate to you. May I be the first to offer you congratulations on the attainment of this most significant award. Your dedication to your chosen profession is evidence in fact that you are one of the very select group of officers to receive this honor. Congratulations. Thank you. That's what she said too. That's what she said, the same thing.
We'll put it in the budget next time.
With the way our law enforcement and other people advance in different areas of their expertise. And, stuff like this makes your department a lot more accepted in the community by getting all these awards. So we appreciate y'all's hard work. Okay, now we go to Beautification and Appearance Committee awards, which is Jeremy is the representative from the board to the Beautification and Appearance Committee. And the first one is Lee Warpole. Are they here? It's at 424 North Shore Drive. So if you want to go by and check it out, I know they've got a beautiful yard. So go by and look at it. pass it on down to Jeremy and he can get it to them. And the next one is Sweet Island. We got anybody here? Yes, we have. Come right on up. I guess we're giving it to Alicia, huh? He's not going to accept it.
Is he bashful, Lisa? Is he bashful?
He's what?
Is he bashful?
No, yeah, a little bit.
Little bit. Okay, I'd like to present you with this award that the Beautification Committee picked you all for, and you can proudly display it in your business.
Thank you so
Okay?
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I've got to tell you, that's at 306 Roland Avenue, and it's sweet. Very sweet. Okay, we ask you that at this time, if you'll set your phones to silence, and comment, we'll have a period for comments, and if you want to address the council, that you'll have be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you stay within that time. Citizen speakers will be acknowledged in the order that they signed up to speak, and will address all comments to the board in whole, not one individual council member. Speakers will address the council from the speaker's podium, and the discussions between speakers and members of the audience are not allowed. Groups or individuals speaking on the same topic of concern will need to pick one individual speaker to represent the group. So if there's a bunch of people here that's got one thing that they want to present, you need to get together and find somebody to speak for you, and just have them to speak for the whole group. Help save a little bit of time there. Public comment is not intended to require the council to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers are expected to be civil in their language and presentation. Any comments where the primary purpose is to promote business or candidacy shall not be allowed. In accordance with the council's adoption rules of procedure, councilmen shall reserve responses, if any, for the council forum on the agenda. Okay, at this time, I'll ask for adoption of the agenda as it's presented.
I make a motion, we adopt it.
Second.
I second that motion.
All in favor, raise your hand. So moved. Okay, approval of consent agenda. Consent agenda is just some cleanup things that we have to do. It's nothing of any great importance, but it just is things that is done monthly, and so we just put them in a lump sum, and then all the council has been through it. So at this time, if there is no changes, do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we accept the agenda.
Or, to approve the consent agenda.
I approve it.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. So moved. Okay, we are now to the public comment period, and I understand Stephanie's got one that she's going to have to read or present. Stephanie, you there?
Correct. We have 2 this evening that were sent in via email. The first one is from a Miss Wendy Russo at 1008 First Street, and it reads, I attended last month's town council meeting to ask for help with disturbances from Tortuga's Nest. I reside 2 doors down from the bar in a residential neighborhood. Since last month's meeting, not only has the problem at Tortuga's Nest continued, it has gotten worse. The late night DJ Hawk dance party continues to take place every weekend with loud music accompanied by the emptying of glass bottles all night long until 3 in the morning. When Tortuga's Nest closes at 2, another problem begins. Large crowds of drunk patrons loiter in their parking lots and continue to be loud and disrupted. This weekend, there were fights on both Friday and Saturday nights, one in Tortuga's parking lot and the other at the corner of Canal and First. They were both right as the bar let out and involved patrons who were at the bar. These same people ran through our yards and hid under houses while the police appeared. This has been going on since March. I have been asked back then by Angela Crane, the bar owner, to contact her directly, and I did, and that has not worked. I have called the non-emergency police number for help. That hasn't helped. I have emailed back and forth with Chief Shanahan in great deal, and yet the problem continues. I was asked by the chief to sit down and talk with the bar owners to find a happy median just this week. At this last point in the game, this is ludicrous and not the answer, especially considering I was told by Angela not to contact her or to go to talk to her bar any longer. We as neighbors have stated what we want. We want a peaceful existence. We want to sleep after 11. We want the police to protect us and our neighborhood. She says she requests immediate fines for complaints from here out, not just selective enforcement of an antiquated noise ordinance that protects Tortuga's Nest and not the residents of First Street. If you'll give me one moment, we have one more. The second email comes from a Mr. Dennis Stewart, who states he resides at 912 Broadway Street. And his email goes, I've been a resident since 1994. The biggest nightmare was the opening of the trailer bar. The second nightmare was the opening of his nest. It has been an ongoing problem, and it is at the point of unsustainable. It's not just the loud music that's annoying, but add drunkenness, vulgarity, destruction to our yards with beer bottles, cans, trash, and mailboxes torn down. My mailbox has been vandalized 3 times. Our community was once part of paradise, but sadly, this opening of these 2 bars it's worse than a nightmare. It's to the point of being unsustainable that after 27 years of living here, I have considered totally selling out and leaving a lifetime of hard work and enjoy peaceful fruits of labor. I'm free to talk personally for any of my comments or concerns, and he lists his cell phone number if anyone would like to reach out to him. Those only 2 I have this evening via email.
Thank you, ma'am. And Kyle picked up the list that signed when they came in, so I'll let Kyle call out the names from the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First on the public comment sign-up sheet is Peter Sloan of 502 Trellis Road.
Good evening, everybody. Wow, this is a great building. First time I've been here. This is wonderful. Great job, guys. Hey, fireworks the other night, phenomenal. First time I got to see most of them. So it was a great treat, I'll tell you that. No fun getting home, but it was a great treat. All right. Just want to fill everybody in on Topsail Island Jeep Week and what's going to be happening in coordination with the greater area, Topsail Area Chamber of Commerce. Jeep Week is September 13th through the 19th, with the Chamber coordinating the events the 13th Monday through Friday afternoon with local businesses, with promotions from local businesses. If you remember, the idea, our first year was 2016, was to try to bring business into our shoulder seasons, to fill hotels, shopping, retail, restaurants. We've done phenomenal with Jeep Week as far as looking at our shoulder seasons. Not really sure we have a shoulder season anymore based on this spring, but at any rate, we're going to continue with Jeep Week. This year we're capping at 100. Last year we canceled. Year before that we were at 150, which was a little unmanageable. So in light of that, I've had some meetings with Tammy from Pender County Tourism, and we're looking at turning this into more of a tourism style group, where we're still going to have a Friday night kickoff party at Highwater Sports Bar and Grill. And then Saturday, we used to sit out on the south end on the beach all day, convoy 150 Jeeps together with the help of Shanahan and his team, escorting a convoy of Jeeps. We really created a lot of roadblocks, and we realized that with the amount of vehicles we had. So what we're going to be doing this year is breaking off into groups of 15 and having a leader. So it'll be different colors, a red, well, I would say blue, but you're pretty much all in blue. We'd have a green team, a blue team, a flower team. And they're going to follow the leader throughout the day. We already have exclusive tours set up for the Turtle Hospital. We're meeting with Missiles and More Museum. And again, meeting in with Tammy, looking at different things in our area to try to give exposure to, and just to show what Topsail area is all about and why we all love it. So we're also, throughout the day, we'll be hitting obstacle courses on some private properties and coming back out and hitting another tourist destination and such. So it should be great for the area. Couple of things we're doing this year. One, we're giving away a Jeep Wrangler. So we're pulling tickets on the 17th, 10 final winners, and on the 19th, whoever's CD plays of the top 10 people will go into the Jeep, and if it plays, you won. Still looking for a location for Sunday. So if you guys want to contact me later, maybe we can come up with some ideas. I'd love to have it here in Surf City somewhere. There'll be a lot of press, National Dodge, and you're certainly all welcome to come to attend. It should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking for ideas for that. Also, on the Saturday event, we'd like to be able to get out onto a beach with a drive. So I understand from speaking with Kyle last year, prior to canceling the event, that it's the council that would need to allow that to happen. And one thought I would have was going out in our small groups on Broadway and going under the pier and just coming back out. We could do that with the small groups of 15, or we can take the whole group of 100 through at one time and back out and be gone. So I know you have to kind of look at that, and maybe we can get that on agenda for a vote. And that's all I have for you. So Jeep Week's coming, back on for this year. September 13th through the 19th. With the events on the 18th is when we're taking everyone out for the tourism side. Going out with the obstacle courses, stopping at different places for the day. So there'll be different groups going around. We won't require as many volunteers. We won't require police escorts. Everybody can follow the rules of the road, and we're not going to jam up traffic anywhere. So that's sort of the plan this year. We did a little spring thing. We kept it under the radar. I didn't want to tell anybody about it, and I don't think that many people knew about it because we didn't hear much back from it. So we kept it under the radar just to see how running the two small groups around would work. We had two groups of 12 Jeeps that went. We actually had permission to go to North End Beach. We had 2 obstacle courses, and they had a couple other stops. So we'll have a few more Jeeps this time around, and hopefully have a great time and get to show off our beautiful area.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Tommy Russell, 338 Edgewater Way.
Good evening. Thank you for providing the residents of Surf City a forum to bring our issues and grievances for consideration. I'm here tonight to talk to you about D.R. Horton's lack of adherence to stormwater and drainage plans. It's no secret that this area is a magnet for catastrophic storms that bring heavy rains. Because of this fact, it is concerning to my wife and I that D.R. Horton admittedly is not following an approved drainage and grading plan, and the impact of this negligence is obvious every time it rains. Every time it rains here. It is also concerning that we would not be fighting this battle with D.R. Horton if they were simply held to a standard by the agency that approved their plans in the first place, which is Surf City. Over the past 6 months, we've reached out to the city on multiple occasions with no resolve. Any supervisory oversight from the city could have and still can help us and the other Surf City residents in Edgewater experiencing this same fight. Every time it rains, our backyard and side yard becomes flooded. Excuses from D.R. Horton have ranged from, it'll be better when the other yards are in, you just have to be patient, oh, that was a 50-year storm, that happens every month. 90% of the water is coming off of your roof and you need to pay and get gutters. All of those excuses have come, and all the residents in Edgewater in Waterside have heard these things. When they do send out contractors to address our concerns, it only results in Band-Aid fixes, or in our case, a swale cut across our backyard off of our porch. So now we essentially have a moat around our property every time it rains, which is a good defensive posture, but not very sightly. The root cause of our specific standing water issue is deviation from the approved plan. This has been an ongoing issue due to D.R. Horton contractors admittedly not following their grading and drainage plans during final grade and landscaping prior to closing. They're in a hurry to get those closings done. The lay of the land was altered and is no longer in compliance with the original grading and drainage plan that the land developer followed. After contractors dug out our foundation, the property ended up with large mounds of dirt in the middle of the backyard. When the landscapers came to finish the property, instead of removing the mounds of dirt from the site, they just move it around and throw sod over top of it. This results in a hill in the middle of our backyard that directs water towards our home and our foundation instead of the wetlands or the other swales or other drainage mitigations in place. When addressed before any adjacent properties were finished, D.R. Horton refused to regrade the area, only providing some of those excuses we already outlined. Is that my time buzzer? Is that what that was? Out of all of this, the most appalling thing we encountered was the lack of support from Surf City. When we started calling the city to complain, we went through multiple offices until we were finally connected to Steve Paget to air our issues with the builder. We are not sure exactly what happened after that because we did not get a call back from Mr. Paget. Just a call from the D.R. Horton representative, Pat Fitzgerald, letting us know that they have a really good relationship with the city and any complaints would just go back to them anyway, alluding to the fact that the city would support Pat Fitzgerald and D.R. Horton, not the residents. After 6 months, we were finally able to get D.R. Horton to send surveyors and engineers to address our problems. They've agreed to install French drains as mitigations, but that should never have been required. And now we have another maintenance requirement that we would not have if plans were followed in the first place. This does not just affect us. There are others here tonight that are going through the same thing. They will not address the root cause, the grading and the drainage plans, because that is obviously more expensive than installing French drains. Quick recommendations for your consideration. Surf City should not allow D.R. Horton to advance stage development until they correct all outstanding drainage issues at properties they're already occupied within Waterside. Thank you for your time.
I got
I'm
a
sorry I
question.
went over.
How many of you are here for the same reason? Okay, now we don't need to get up here and every one of you say the same thing that he said, okay? So we're gonna be cutting you off at 3 minutes. So you're not gonna have time to go through all the stuff that he went through. So if you got something different that you wanna present, I appreciate that. But like I say, that's the reason we ask that people get together and select somebody to speak for. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is it
I mean,
Russell,
we don't
Tommy?
mind you
It is.
speaking
Yeah,
at
you in the
all.
military?
I am, sir.
Thank you for your service, number one.
Yes, sir.
And I think that was communicated effectively. What have we received? I mean, he said that they've been in communication with who? Amy? Have you been involved?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay.
I ain't gotten anything
Okay, so
from it.
first I hear of it, but thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff Searles, 1006 First Street.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Searles. I own a house at 1006 First Street. I have been experiencing problems with the bar next door named Tortuga's Nest. I have talked with the police multiple times to ask for assistance with these problems. I'm not sure what, but instead of the problems getting better, they are getting worse. Friday night, I heard a loud scream from the front of my house by a drunken patron. Directed facing my house, he said, "Please come out, MF, I will kill you." Saturday night, there was a large fight in Tortuga's parking lot. During that time, I witnessed two young patrons pull his pants down and pee in the street in front of my house. Another neighbor told me they found human feces in planters under their house. Mingling and seeing parents I knew, their kids were underage. I quizzed several kids of their age. Being under the influence, they replied 19, with a chuckle. I took one beverage out of a young man's hand, asked him his age, and he said 19. I asked where you got the drink from. He replied, right there. I have spoken to the police multiple times while they are standing in front of their hood of the police car in the Friendly Mart parking lot. Wouldn't it work better if one or two of those policemen were walking around the parking lot of Tortuga's Nest? Bar owners say police are doing nothing. Police say it's the bar owner's responsibility. Whose is it, board members? I have spoken to the bar owner about the noise from the music and when they empty their beer bottles in the outside trash cans right at my back door at 2 and 3 a.m. Would that wake you up? I have spoken to my neighbors, and they are all experiencing the same problems. Please help. I come here for a quiet, peaceful existence, and that is not what I'm getting on First Street. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Randall Nickel, 210 Edgewater Way.
Good evening. I also live in Waterside. I promise my issue is something else, not that what Mr. Russell brought up. But before I begin, let me just say what a wonderful community we have here. We've been a resident of Surf City now for about 8 months, and we just absolutely love the community here. We love the school. For the I guess the police officers, one of them's in the room, but the police officers are professional, courteous. We see them interacting with residents and tourists all the time. What a great force. I think we found the place we want to be for a long time. So this is a great community.
Hope you just retire here.
I think I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I wanted to bring up also has to do with the community of Waterside. Has to do with the speed limit. When we first moved in December, the speed limit posted there was 35 miles an hour. I did contact the police chief. Several of the signs were changed to 25, and I'm appreciative of that. But as D.R. Horton continues to build in different phases, walking the neighborhood, I've noticed there are still 35-mile-an-hour signs throughout the community, and that definitely needs to be changed. But I also wanted to find out the process to have that speed limit lowered from 25 to possibly 20 miles an hour in the neighborhood. The streets aren't as wide as some of the other streets that are 25-mile-an-hour residential neighborhoods in Surf City, and with the roads being winding through the community, it's definitely a safety concern for our kids. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see, John Davis at 208 Edgewater Way.
Thank you very much. Like I said, John Davis, 208 Edgewater. I moved down here in November and absolutely love it. You know, I moved down here for work. I'll be here from here on out till I die, and then the kids and just taking over what I leave behind anyway. Like I said, also in Edgewater, Waterside, one thing that is a short-time investment for D.R. Horton. Everybody in there, it's going to be 400 homes. That's our permanent long-term investment. I just like to see D.R. Horton held to a higher standard, because knowing that is such a large development from one builder in this whole area, you know, they seem to have an attitude they can get away with what they want to. And Surf City's, they're lucky to have us so they can do what they want. I personally, I'm a construction project manager. I see what goes on, and they're slipping by as much as they can. I just ask the town of Surf City to hold them to a higher standard, set that example for such a large development coming in here. Everybody's going to follow that, and that's a long-term commitment for everybody. What I would also like to see is the crosswalk there at the end of the road, and possibly the stoplights being looked at for timing. I know you're coming out of Waterside there. You may sit there for 6 to 8 minutes before the lights will ever change. And I know it's all in sequences by the Department of Transportation, but just at times it's definitely a long wait. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Cecil Lee, 6092 6th Street.
Good afternoon. This is my first time ever coming before the council. I've been coming to Surf City for 65 years or more. I've had a place on the canal for over 20. I come because of concern. I love fireworks, but in front of my house, they were set up on the street, on the edge of the street, and they shot big fireworks for over an hour or two, a long time, up to 11 o'clock. But the reason I'm here, I got a pickup that fireworks landed on, damaged my paint, it damaged my boat, and I just like to see something to maybe control the fireworks in the residential areas, because something bad's going to happen, because those live pieces of fireworks were in my boat and, not far from the gas tank. So, and the yards, every yard along that area is just cluttered with debris from the fireworks. The other thing, I guess while I'm here, I want to address. I wish something could be done. I come, like I say, I've been coming for over 20 years, had to play. Lots of times, the wintertime, I never come. You know, I'll go 2 or 3 months not come. But I still have to pay that garbage, sewer, and water, and pay the same thing that people live here year-round pay. And I just wish something could be done on a measured type service, or, you know, be able to terminate your garbage or something. But thank you for your time.
Zach Schnell at 6096 6th Street.
Excuse me. Good afternoon, everybody. It's been interesting to hear everybody who's been coming here for a long time, and even though I'm younger, I've actually been coming all my life here, thanks to my grandparents who discovered this place back in the early 70s, and how this place has been growing and changing over time, which is a great thing. And one of my questions and concerns is, and I know this is the first year that things have been coming up, is dealing with the paid parking in this given area. And it's just for a place that is very, motivational about being, a family community, which I agree with, and it very much so is. Like I said, been coming here all my life, is that then something that is enacted to create a barrier to prevent some families from coming here and be able to enjoy the beaches that are all being publicly funded by taxes that everybody pays and enjoys with. And so one of the nice things, in fact, it's been great to be able to brag to friends that, hey, we don't have paid parking here and everything, because that has been pushed that way in a long time. And so one of my, and especially also since there are some families that don't have like a cell phone capability to pay for things in that. And especially also then with residents who do have long-term places here and everything, is that only 2 vehicles are allowed to be registered for year-round people, and it's an additional $100 per vehicle for that. Well, most families have more than 2 vehicles, and that's another hindrance on them. And so that's something. And the other reason I bring this up is just because, and this was on WECT News, is where, and Mayor Douglas, this was you who said how you all highly supported to never have paid parking here.
That's been a few years ago.
And in 2019, yes, sir, absolutely. And so it was always something there that was nice to see and everything. And then just to see how things have morphed and changed in the mentality of things and go. And I understand like beach nourishment and everything, huge support of it. I mean, I'm an environmental person. I study that. I study environmental health and science and everything, so I'm full supportive, which is one of the great things that this community does do, is also help protect a lot of the natural areas here, which is fantastic. But it's just something to consider. Definitely please allow the very transparency about how those funds are getting used, because locally speaking, a lot of people are not very thrilled with the fact that now they do have to pay for parking when they have been used to it for a long time and having nothing, and then also being charged additional for that for additional vehicles that have already been here for many years. So with that, my time, I thank you guys, and thank you for all helping continue Surf City and making it a better place.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. We got anybody else?
I'm sorry, Mayor, that was the end of public comment.
That was the end of public comment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, let's see, where are we? New business. Okay. Satellite request for Lindley Properties, LLC, and that's at 12553 North Carolina Highway 50, Pender County. It's 1.9 acres, and I'll turn it over to you. Stephanie, have you got it?
Yes, sir. The clerk's office received an annexation request from Lindley's Property, Inc. 25th. It is for 1.9 acres of satellite annexation. It's located on Highway 50, almost at the corner of Belt and 50. We are asking today that the council approve the resolution directing the clerk to investigate for satellite annexation and set the public hearing for August the 3rd at 4:30. And we will send the property to the planning board for a zoning recommendation.
Do I have a motion on that?
I make a motion that we go along with this.
Well, this is just to investigate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should just give her permission.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carried. Okay, Stephanie, you got it?
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see. Now it is over to the manager. Ready for your report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council. Good afternoon, residents and visitors here today. Just wanted to go over a couple of items here from my report. First and foremost, just wanted to thank staff and council for your attendance and work, and to make the 3rd of July a fantastic event. I think the weather and everything just was perfect, so thank you for that. Getting into some planning, we do have a council fall retreat on the calendar for November 8th, and we will do this similar to what we did last year, and utilize the offsite facility for that. The next item of highlight here is the ARP, or American Rescue Plan funding. So staff has been tracking this and the subsequent guidelines that have gone along with the program. The town will see a disbursement this year of approximately $393,000, and the same disbursement in 2022 for a total of $786,000. Once full eligibility is more clearly realized, staff will develop a list of projects that may qualify to be funded. This is unlike the prior CARES Act funding. The ARP or ARP funds don't have to be obligated until 2024. The developed list will be prioritized, and recommendation will come back to council for application of those funds. And again, the ARP funding was part of the large federal spending bill, so that is Surf City's portion of it. Council has already adopted resolutions to set up the account to receive the funds, but we do want to look at those and how those can be spent. Getting into the parking capacity analysis, staff has prepared and published a request for proposals for qualified firms to perform a parking capacity analysis for the town. As a reminder, this is a priority to determine short, mid, and long-term strategies to increase parking capacity throughout. Proposals are due by July 23rd, in which they will be evaluated, and we will make a selection and recommendation to council for potential contract award. On that same topic, Pivot Parking will be presenting at your July 16th work session to provide a mid-season overview of how things are going, so please look forward to that. Real quick on Tropical Storm Elsa, town staff are currently monitoring the progression of the storm based on the latest data, which something came out at 4, but I haven't gotten that. We are planning for the possibility of minor impacts midweek, mainly Thursday. This should be out of here by Thursday PM, but again, timing will totally be up to when this event makes landfall this evening. As of the latest model runs, the System Center is projected to make its closest pass between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Thursday, roughly 80 miles to our west. We are anticipating rainfall, potentially 3 to 5 inches, with higher amounts in isolated areas, which may lead to surface flooding in flood-prone areas. Gusty winds, potentially tropical storm force in intensity, are possible, especially midday Thursday, and the potential for isolated tornadoes similar to other events. Emergency management will be sending out briefing packages as information becomes available. I will take this time for anybody in the audience. We have new residents, always have an influx of new residents. Be prepared. Go to our website, Emergency Management, to get the information that you might need to protect yourself, your property, and your family. Vector control, just as a reminder, the County Health Department continues to provide mosquito control services for the town. We have developed a web form on the Town of Surf City website that anyone can fill out to request nuisance vector services above and beyond the normal spray operations. Also, if you wish to be on the do not spray list, you can request that as well. All forms are sent to the county for them to address, and they are very diligent at addressing those items. Beach Nourishment Committee. Our committee has met twice over the last month to evaluate their position and to seek additional direction through their efforts, and Mr. Chairman is here, and their direction and leadership. Staff will prepare a memo to council for your July work session to formalize their efforts to not only focus on beach nourishment efforts of the town, but also take on resiliency efforts to help set coastal resiliency goals and to help local needs identifying and prioritizing projects that may come up in the future. The last item I had was an update on the federal project. As we had heard, North Topsail Beach is not going to sign the project partnership agreement, which would have enacted the project to move forward. This action will require the Army Corps of Engineers to descope North Topsail Beach from the project and move through their internal process to refocus to a Surf City only project. I was anticipating Pam Castens, who's been our project manager, to be here tonight to kind of go over the steps in which the Corps will need to take moving forward to make sure that Surf City is protected with this 50-year project. Unfortunately, she could not make it, but we will clearly identify what those steps are so that we can communicate that back out to our community, as this is a big project for us, and those actions are going to be very critical, especially in timing of the project. So unfortunately, she was not able to be here, and that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Forum. I don't remember which way I started last time. I'll start with you this time.
Thank you, Mayor.
Help yourself.
And the manager for everything that we've done here over the 4th of July weekend. I don't know that it could have went better. So we truly enjoyed ourselves. And I think it was great to see all the folks come out and have an opportunity to celebrate our freedom. So that was first. The second thing I wanted to mention was it's great to see everyone in this room today. You know, as we're getting back to what as close to normal as possible, it's good for you to come out and exercise your civic duty. And I take all the concerns that were listed here today, and I will take full responsibility and ensure that I engage the appropriate departments, whether that's our planning department to address the waterside issue, or the police department and their leadership to address what continues to go on over at Tortuga's Nest or in that vicinity. I know that that's a problem. I think you all deserve to live peacefully, and obviously that your safety is paramount. So I will do everything I can. I can't do it alone, but I'm sure my colleagues will agree that that's unacceptable. So we'll do what we can. Outside of that, I'd like to wish everyone a safe summer. Continue to prepare. We're at the beginning of the season for hurricanes, and it's good to be over-prepared than under-prepared. But with that, thank you all and have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Buddy Fowler.
Thank you, Mayor. I echo some of the same sentiments Dwight said. The people that came in tonight and expressed your concerns, we heard your concerns, and as Mr. Torres said, the council will move on some of these and take action. We heard you, and you need to see some relief and get some relief. And we don't know what that'll be at this point, but it will be something, and you'll be hearing back from us when you hear from a manager. The other thing that I want to mention would be the beach renourishment that he mentioned that Ms. Castings couldn't make it here tonight. And North Topsail Beach is backed out of the partnership agreement. That does not mean that Surf City is not moving forward. We were prepared when we had a glimmer of light about 12 years ago, I guess, from the Corps or from being able to fund this project. Didn't say it would, didn't say it would happen, didn't say it wouldn't happen, but we had some little communication, a flicker of light, if you will. So we, as a council in town of Surf City, took actions at that time. If you go back and remember, we had a beach nourishment fund, but we beefed it up. So we will be prepared and ready if the Corps came forward with this project as moving forward. And when the green light came on and we were given the green light, we had ourselves in a position to do that. Now, all the towns and all the other municipalities that they work with, they have the same opportunity and the same thing. We took action. We continue to move forward, and we will be moving forward. The descoping of North Topsail Beach from our project to let us stand alone and go will be up to the Corps and how they handle that and do that. But we have told them and instructed them that we've been on go since a year ago. So we have been ready for a year to get started. We have waited for our sister city to come online, and they now are not coming online. So we are now in a position to where we're in our own control of our city limits and our beach nourishment moving forward. And I look forward to that. We're going to have some snafus possibly. We'll have some hiccups, but it's nothing that we can't get through together and move forward together. And we're looking forward to having this project come forward to its fruition and be there for us for the next 50 years. And I think it's a great, great thing that tax-wise, as well as beach renourishment-wise, as well as tourist-wise, that we renourish our beach and have it the best we can possibly have it. And I look forward to doing that with this board here and moving forward. Another thing that's come up is about the parking. We know we have some hiccups in the parking. We're still working on that and moving with that forward as well. That still doesn't mean there's still not going to be some hiccups. It's just like raising a child. You correct one problem, another problem pops up. So you have to continue to deal with it, and we will continue to do that. But it has been an honor to see all the people that came out to the 4th of July Independence Celebration and get out of the house and get back to where we can all mingle together again in some form. That meant a lot to a lot of people. It meant a lot to me to be able to be a participant in that. And I thought we had a great crowd there. I thought we had a great fireworks display. We've got a lot of things going on in town. We still got some problems, but if you will let us know, or let our manager know what those problems are, we as a council will try to help deal with them. And with that, I know you're tired of hearing me talk. I'll be quiet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Buddy. Miss Teresa.
Thank you, Buddy. And Dwight, that was a lot. That was everything I was going to say. But you guys, thank you for coming out to the fireworks. It was a special night. Our fire department, our police department, our Parks and Rec, every department they have, Public Works, they all came together and worked as a team, and it just seemed like everything flowed really smooth. So we were very excited to see that happen. I just want to say congrats to our police officers again, to Bailey and Phelan for their advancement. And as far as the Army Corps project, we do plan on moving forward. I know Mr. Ward sitting right here on the front row. He's been there from the very beginning, along with a lot of past leaderships in here in the town of Surf City. We're not giving up. We do plan to see this project through. It may take us, a little bit more time to get there, but it will happen. And a lot of other good things happening in town with Parks and Rec. There's summer camps. There's different movies in the parks, and I don't want to say this wrong because I can move these words really easily. Sip, shop, and strolls in the park that get a lot of people out in the evenings. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And again, let's be prepared for Elsa if she does come. I hope that a lot of the issues that you're having on Waterside doesn't affect your home if we do get 2 to 5 inches of rain. So our planning department will be looking at that for you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Don Helms.
Glad to see everyone out here tonight. I'm glad you folks brought this D.R. Horton problem to our attention. Some of us had not heard about that problem. assure you, this will be looked at. You folks on First Street, it may not solve your problem, but in that, consent agenda, there was an ordinance, a new ordinance on, nuisance. And hopefully that'll help correct your problem. I don't think you're gonna correct it 100%, but we'll do the best we possibly can. And the gentleman that had his car, or truck damaged by fireworks, or boat, I sympathize with you. Being in law enforcement for as long as I was in it for 31 and a half years. I know that it's a violation of North Carolina law as far as pyrotechnics, but there's certain things in there that the state has gone back, and there's certain things you can have legally. But I still sympathize with you, and we'll try to do a better job next 4th of July. I hope everyone enjoyed the fireworks. I hope everyone enjoyed their time out at the park. We had a great day. We had a great night. And I just hope it continues for the rest of the summer. And let's don't mention this thing that's down south. Let it stay down south. We've dealt with enough of them in this area. Other than that, I hope you have a good summer, a good week, and a very good weekend. Thank you. Your turn.
Okay, Mr. Jeremy Sugar.
As I said last week or last month, it's the advantage of going last. You don't have to say anything because they already said it all, okay? And in a good sense. I'm going to say they all have great points. I just want to make sure that all of you are aware of there's not one of you that say something that it is turned, a deaf ear is turned to it. Somebody up here hears everything you say. That's why we have these meetings. So be mindful of the fact of you may think, wow, they're just pacifying us. We don't do that here. I can rest assured you that the mayor and our city manager will make sure that things are how they need to be. It may not be how you want it. You know, sometimes we can't have it exactly how we want it, but there will be a fix to concerns if that fix is possible. So anyway, I just want to say, and I want to tell you about fireworks. I'm still a kid at heart. Those fireworks were amazing. Like a couple years ago, they seemed shorter. Do you remember that? They were shorter. I mean, I feel like somebody stole my candy a couple years ago. Like, this fireworks was amazing. So anyway, I'm just glad to be a part of this city. I'm honored to be a part of this council. I'm glad I can work for you all. And like I says, we don't turn a deaf ear to y'all. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy, like I said, the rest of your summer.
Thank you, council. I'd hope everybody did enjoy the fireworks and the band and all that at the 4th of July thing. How many of you were where you could see it or hear it or anything as far as our 4th of July entertainment? Okay, I was going to say, I hope you did enjoy it. That band was great, and of course, they always are. I mean, that's a local band, or sort of local. It's a North Carolina band anyway, and they always do a good job. But the pyrotechnics this time, everybody kept getting ready to leave because they thought it was over with, and then it would start back again. So they kept your attention and kept it going. So I think, and everybody I heard from, it really enjoyed the fireworks. And appreciate the people that came up and spoke, that they observed the time, most of them, and also are nice in the way they deliver it. I know sometimes you're irritated, and it's easy to get irritated on some of this stuff. We will talk with our people, in other words, get with development and see what's going on there. But we will try to get you some answers on that, and maybe we can meet with you after we find out what's going on and figure out what we can do and let you know. The speed limit, I'm going to ask the chief and Johnson if they will check on that and they can do a a test out there and see what needs to be done about the speed. So they will check on that, right, Johnson? Thank you, sir. And, let's see, and then, the parking, public parking. I know hardly anybody likes it, having to pay for parking. And I did say in 2019 and every year prior to that, I said, no, we're not doing paid parking. But then, when we finally got the beach nourishment approved, and we got to looking at what we had to have, I mean, we have done good. We have got it to where we can pay for the initial beach nourishment, but then we've got, every 5 years, we got a re-nourishment. So we've got to have a way to raise money for that. Part of it will be paid by taxes that each and everybody that owns property is paying into that fund. And that's the reason you get your 2 permits for parking free. And then, but then we've still got to have more money. So that's the reason we finally looked at doing paid parking, because everybody else is doing it. So we paid it. I mean, you're having to pay now. And of course, everybody says, well, I won't go back there anymore. I'll go somewhere else. Well, honey, if you go anywhere else, you're going to pay more for parking than you are here. So, so think about that. But anyway, we understand. I mean, I don't like parking either. In fact, I got a parking ticket in Wilmington the other night because I jumped out of the car and ran. My granddaughter was having a dance recital, and I ran down to the building. I didn't look to see about the signs. Right there was a great big sign. So anyway, I just paid the parking ticket and just let it go. But anyway, so we all get caught by it. In fact, my brother, day before yesterday, parked in a corner instead of straight with a bumper, and he got a ticket. So he paid that, though. So he won't be fussing about it. But anyway, like I say, I know there's a lot of things that sort of aggravate you a little bit. But then, if you look at it at a whole, we have got a fabulous place to live. And, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anywhere else. Even if they give me free parking, I wouldn't trade it for anywhere else. But anyway, like I say, but if you do have something, just contact any of us board members, or contact Kyle, or anything you got a problem with, let us know, and we will look at it and try to figure out what we can do. We don't guarantee you that we can solve every problem that comes up, but we'll try our best, right? And hopefully with the noise ordinance, that will make right much of a difference, I believe. We have revamped that. Okay. Has anybody else got anything? Besides the attorney?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Real quick. Is this working? Last month, I believe it was, Kyle, we finished the emergency operations plan. So it's only a 70-page document, but it's timely given what's coming later this week. We'll be finished with the debris removal policy probably by the end of this week. We are on track to have all of the real estate requirements that the federal government's requiring of us for the federal project. And as far as the bar situation, Wrightsville Beach has almost identical issues. And the ABC Commission trumps our ability to do certain things, like we can't zone out bars from near residential neighborhoods. We can't make them close early. That's all dictated by at the state level. Noise ordinances and nuisance ordinances are about your only enforcement tool. So they deal with it frequently. So I hate it that these folks are going through that. And that's